Welcome to the Third Win channel, where today we're doing Victorious Season 2 episodes tier list. A few days ago we did Season 1, so you can go check that out first if you have not already, and we have done this series for Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, and iCarly, so if you like those shows you can check that out as well. But today we're doing a tier list for the second season of Victorious, but there's a twist, it's actually a ranking. Oh, I tricked you guys, no. I just decided it would be more engaging for this season in particular to rank it because it was kind of hard to make a tier list because I feel the episodes are fairly even in quality. So I think it would be more fun just to give you guys my personal ranking, which ones I like the most, my least, my favorite. And let's start with our number 12, Tori Gets Stuck. So I did look at some forums, took a look at what people like, what people don't like, and it seemed a common theme that people don't really like Tori Gets Stuck. Maybe the episode's a little slow. It's kind of, um, I mean, I guess the stuff with Tori and Jade fighting over the play is interesting, but Jade gets trying to get the lead role by sabotaging Tori maybe just leaves a sour taste in fans' mouth. When this is the episode maybe where Jade takes it too far. We have Tori needing to take out 3 pints of blood to help Robbie at first, but then she gets stuck there because of Jade, and it's all a bit of a mess. And I kind of agree. I think this episode is just a little slow and maybe less entertaining than the other ones in this season. So for that reason, it gets number 12. And moving on, let's see, we got Terror on CUPCAKE Street. And again, this one is one that people were mixed about. And I think that honestly, the highlight of this episode are the aesthetics, the pajamas which you see on screen now, or the cupcake. I think the story and the events are, they're wacky, they're entertaining, but it's not really. It just feels a little weird. I also don't like that this is some kind of like surprise for Psycho's new girlfriend. I think that's a little bit of a weird and weak episode overall. So yeah, number 11. Let's move on to our top 10 now. Number 10, we have Tori Torture's Teacher. So I like how we get more of a, I guess, a Psychowitz theme, like centered episode, and I like how we get to see Psychowitz not in his crazy wacky state, and we get to learn about his emotions and kind of his life a little bit. So I did enjoy that. But why is this episode number 10? Really, just because there are better episodes in this season, and I like this kind of back and forth with Tori and Psychowitz. It makes for some really funny, like it's a bit of a joke in the episode. I think that's funny, but yeah, I don't know. Finding out at the end that Psychowitz was just kind of sad about his girlfriend leaving was a twist, and it was all right. But I don't know. Something about this episode just feels a little bit less exciting than the others. Number 9, we have A Christmas Story, and this one's kind of technically labeled as season 3, but at the same time it didn't air during season 3, and it's kind of weird, but I'm gonna include it here. This one, I like how they're gifting each other the different gifts, and by the way, this is where the like kind of solid episodes start. I like how each of them have to gift each other gifts, and they all honestly go through they try to give each other really good gifts. Andre helping Beck with his cricket problem, and Robbie giving Sam candy. What's it called? The candy swirl thing, cotton candy, and we get this pretty amazing performance at the end, which I think is probably the highlight of the episode. And the whole Christmassy theme, it's hard to talk about it when it's summer. But yeah, this one gets number 9, maybe because I just don't find it as memorable. When I think of that episode, I think of that performance at the end, and then that's kind of it. Moving on, at number 8, we have Who Did It to Trina, which is this, the Victorious World kind of murder mystery style episode. And I think that alone, the interviews with Lane, and then the reveal at the end of the episode that it was Rex, I think all of that is quite uh, it's funny. I like the setup for this episode, and I think it deserves number 8, and I think it's actually done quite well. It should be noted that Beck isn't in that episode, so that kind of brings it down. And if you didn't know, Beck isn't in 2 episodes in this season, and I guess I didn't notice when I was watching, but that's something to note. They just made him poof, and no one noticed. Moving on, we have Beck Falls for Tori, which is definitely one that Beck is in. And I think that this is one of the best moments for Beck and Tori. I mentioned in the previous video in season 1 that we have better Beck Tori episodes, and this is definitely one of them. A very clever title as well. So here we have Tori, needing to do a stunt double because she lied on her resume and she's scared. So she gets some help from Beck, and I think that's I don't know, a heartfelt moment. And I think it's funny how Beck wears the same dress as Tori, and he kind of makes it work. So yeah, this episode's overall just solid. It's like middle of the road, very good. And now we're getting into our top six. These are ones which I think are all superb in this season. So Helen back again. I love seeing Helen back from Drake and Josh. And I like how, as the new principal, she makes everyone re-audition. Like, when I first watched this, I was like, oh, come on, like, yeah, kind of angry, whatever. But it makes sense. It makes sense to see their talents. Most of them are probably secured anyway, but she kind of wants to see what everyone's about here. And obviously, Trina kind of smuggled her way into the school in the first place. So she struggles on her audition, and she ends up not getting in after her audition. But with the help of her friends and a staged robbery, she gets into the school, which is great, I guess. But no, it's a fun episode seeing everyone re-audition, and I like the song that was performed by Tori Andre. I think it was one of the better ones in this season. So number 6, and now we're heading into our top 5, the top stuff. Prom Records number 5. So maybe this comes as a shock. This is number 1, blah blah blah. But I did read a really interesting comment that someone put down, which is that this was kind of the day for Jade's project or play to shine, and Tori just books prom on that day and has feels no remorse about it. And obviously the way Jade acted wasn't appropriate, but it was kind of, Tori didn't get punished at all for it. She got all the praise. But I don't know if I agree with that, but I wanted to put that out there. I thought it was interesting. But otherwise, I think this episode is really entertaining, with Robbie suspecting Kat's boyfriend of being real or not. And then we have Trina trying to rig the prom, what's it called? The vote with Sinjin's help. And yeah, otherwise we get the really good performance. I think this moment you see in the picture here with the rain and them performing is really iconic. So yeah, I think this episode deserves at least number 5, although there are maybe some fundamental kind of ethical problems with it. Now, our top 4, Beg It On Your Knees. The reason why it's not at number 1 maybe is because like this feels like a standard, like very good victorious episode, but maybe it's a little bit boring thematically. I don't know, but I think it is quite clever to like that there's this guy who kind of exploits talented people by going out with them and then stealing their project and whatever. So I like how Tori gets him back publicly by switching the song and publicly humiliating him because he deserves it. And yeah, it's just a very well paced, very well written episode. So definitely deserves number 4. Now we're into our top 3, and maybe this is just me personally, but these are the ones that kind of excite me the most. I remember them the most. They really keep you entertained for that full duration of the episode. Other than maybe number 3, which is just a personal favorite. I love how Andre kind of has this sudden crush on Jade. He just kind of sees something in her when she's singing, and I think that's totally relatable. It can happen to anyone. And I like how he goes to Tori. You can see this picture, just this picture alone just reinforces why I like this episode. Just these different inner group character dynamics that happen, I think, are really important, because without these little mini conflicts, without these little rifts, you don't get development. I really like also that Andre writes a song for her, and Jade never gets to know, but in Andre's heart, she'll always be there as someone maybe special to him, in maybe not romantically, but as a talented person or whatnot. I'm getting a little too deep. I don't know. I really ship Andre and Jade, I guess, and yeah, they're 2 of my favorite characters in the show. So naturally. But number 1 and 2 are 2 crazy episodes, and which one I put above the other? Well, I put Ice Cream for KESHA at number 2, maybe because it was slightly less crazy than the next one. I don't know why I happened to put the craziest ones in 1 and 2 in this season, but I thought this episode they took a really simple concept, which was they had to find the 5 letters in the ice creams to get Kesha to sing live for them, and they've spun it into an episode. They got 4 letters by themselves, and then this kid had the fifth one, the S, the dollar sign, and they promise to kiss him, so they bring him here. Oh, and he gets to see the live show as well. And then Tori locks him outside, and obviously he's sad about that. Okay, too much about the boy. But it's funny when the Trina feels bad for the boy, and she's like, "Oh, I'll kiss you," and then the boy's like, gross." Very mean. But and we get a performance from Kesha, whatever. I just think this episode is really, you kind of just have to watch it. I can't really explain it. It's just really entertaining, to be honest. And how are they gonna find the letter and blah blah blah, and these different problems that arise, and them getting tired of ice cream, blah blah blah. And the whole cast is kind of working together here. So, yeah, number 2. But number 1 is a standout. We get 2 really good songs. We get a Michael Jackson cover, which I'm all about, and this kind of prison dance sequence, which I think is really entertaining, to be honest. We don't, and just seeing them all in the prison suits dancing was really fun. But the storyline itself, where they're in this made-up country called Yoruba, and they have this really sketchy place to live, and then Tori accidentally flings her foot at the dictator of the country. She gets 4 years in prison. Then she manages to get out with the help of her friends, but then Robbie kills his octopus pet. It's just so crazy and so funny, and Robbie gets thrown in the ladies' prison, which is just too many good moments. And even Sykewitz is along here, and I don't know. I think this episode is just, even if it's not, doesn't make sense or whatever, it's just entertaining to me. That's what's, sometimes in Victorious, it's just about the entertainment, and honestly, I love this episode. So yes, it proudly takes number 1 spot. But I want to highlight that this video was actually quite hard to make. It took me some thinking, and yeah, that's maybe why it took a couple of days for it to come out. But I feel quite confident with this list. I think that these are the episodes I did enjoy the most, from favorite to least favorite. But if you enjoyed this, you can check out our other Nickelodeon content, and you can check out the first episode of it, of the Victorious season tier list thing. And yeah, you can look forward to season 3 coming sometime soon. And I'd really appreciate it if you enjoy these videos, if you enjoy my videos, if you could subscribe. That's the best way to support this channel. But that has been this video. This has been the season 2 blah 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 of Victorious. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'd like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon.